What's going on, Junkie Nation? Gorgeous Georgian Goes are back with another MMA superstar, one of the best lightweight fighters in the world. He can fight at bantamweight, flyweight, or strawweight. I think personally, since 2016, ever since I called this fight, this is the best male strawweight in the world. It's the Monkey God, Jared Brooks, coming off a huge win this past week. What's up, Jared? How you been, man?
Oh, doing good, man. It's been a long way coming since WSOF Global, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's good to hear your guys' voice again, and it's good to be on the radio show.
Awesome. Well, we're excited to have you. When I saw you fight that night, I was like, wow. I mean, you could really, really fight. And then, of course, seeing you fight at Bellator, UFC, man, definitely held your own everywhere you've gone in the different divisions against all the different talent that's out there, and I just knew you'd wear gold at some point, but not every promotion has strawweight. I know Bellator's explored it, I believe. And
Yeah.
of course, One Championship's got it. So hats off to you, man. You got it done.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. It's been a long way coming. It's not the weight class that I would like to be a world champion in, but we got time, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, well, you've mixed it up with some of the best, at flyweight as well. So you tell us, I mean, is that the goal, like to just start racking up belts in different weight classes, or would you like to defend and kind of set a legacy at strawweight first? What's the plan?
Yeah, so I would like to fight a couple strawweight bouts and defend my title a couple of times, but when they're ready to move me up to flyweight, I'm willing to go against the best of the best, tit for tat. Weight has never been a crazy issue with me, especially in One Championship. The guys are, 140 soaking wet, so I'm not really worried about the weight distribution for 10 pounds when it's a 10-pound difference in 125 to 135.
The one thing that's always impressed me about you is you are seamless in your transitions and you have one hell of a motor. Do you, like they say, feel your opponent's break because of that?
There's a point in time in the fight if you feel like they've slowed down. You could tell their punches have slowed down, or you could tell if their grappling endurance has slowed down a little bit. So yeah, I like to range and keep my mind on that the whole fight. But the goal is to get it done within 30 seconds. So I didn't get that done. So then you got a game plan and have a strategical game.
Does breaking somebody maybe not feel as good as knocking someone out or submitting them, but does it still feel pretty damn good?
I'm never really satisfied with any win that I have. I'm always thinking in the back of my head, man, you could have done this, you could have done that. My biggest critic when it comes down to the fight game. So it's a lot better when you're knocking somebody on 30 seconds. That's an easy paycheck. You don't have to do any harm to your body, and you can go out to your family scot-free. He has to recover. So I think that a knockout is way better than that, and we're going to be trying to serve these next upcoming fights.
Jared, so we've kind of learned you're a very cerebral fighter. I'm always curious with you, when is it that you know that you have an advantage over your fighter? When is it when you run into him in the hotel? Is it at weigh-ins when you stare in his eyes? Like, when's that moment where you go, I got this guy?
There's bits and pieces leading up to the fight. So there's, portions on social media to where I'll just be like, okay, he's not responding. He's trying to keep me out of his head. That means I'm in his head. There's portions, when we do see each other through the hotel, it's either you can be shook or he can be shook first interaction. But when you're in weigh-ins, for sure, you could tell if a guy is not in the mood to fight you. And that's all that matters. If you're in the mood, if your day is going bad and the cut's going bad, all that stuff, and then I'm in your head, it's another thing. So yeah, you gotta do this mental warfare stuff with fighters because they're more incapable to go out and knock you out as well. So you might as well try to get a mental advantage at the end of the day.
When I was in school, and when they go around the room and they go, what would you like to be when you grow up? Mixed martial artist wasn't an option. You couldn't say that. It didn't really even exist. Your long road to where you're at now, are there a few I told you so's that you were able to throw out to people that maybe didn't believe in the journey at first?
And I've had a lot of non-believers. So I guess this is in your face. This is the time to say it, I guess. But you know, at the end of the day, the people that do believe in me and the people that have been striding with me throughout my whole career, I really appreciate all of you. You guys have been, you know, number one base in what I'm doing right now. So appreciate everybody that has believed in me throughout my career. Still believe in me. This isn't the end. So
At the start, I got to imagine on the list of the goals is become a world champion. And now that you've done that, how much resets? What are like the new giant goals that you have outside of maybe winning another title or defending? Is there anything else that you want to accomplish in the sport before you're done?
100%. I would like to do a nonprofit organization like Dustin Poirier. Um, you know, do something to give back to the MMA community, or, you know, a place to where, you know, people are not funded for MMA or funded for sports. There's, you know, things that they need. I would also like to fight Demetrious Johnson. Demetrious Johnson's the GOAT. Would love to fight him. Would love to get 8 belts altogether at the end of my career, and ultimately work for one championship as a marketing person.
Which 8 belts would you like to own?
I would like to own the strawweight and flyweight. I'm just being realistic. I mean, bantamweight, that's 145. So those guys are like 150, 154 day of fight. But I mean, I would do a couple of super fights as well. I'd fight people like John Lineker as well.
Now, are you talking about 8 belts because of the title defenses, or
Yes.
are you saying that at some
Well,
point in your career you'd like to go to other promotions and snag some belts like Chris Cyborg? She's got Strikeforce, UFC, Invicta, and Bellator. You want to do that, or you want to rack them up in title defenses like a Valentino or John Jones or?
yeah, I would say entitled defenses. But if we ever did a cross promotion, you know, one championship is getting just as big as the UFC now because of this Prime Video deal. So the Prime Video deal is, I mean, how many people are watching ESPN Plus compared to Prime Video? Everybody has Prime Video. So watch out for one in that way. And I think that we could do a cross promotional fight. I would love to fight, you know, UFC's best guys still, right? See who truly is the best of the best in the world. And they're already talking about champion versus champion, UFC versus one championship. So, yeah, be on the lookout for that. I would love to fight Davison Figueiredo or Brandon Moreno, or, you know, anybody that takes the title in the next 2 years.
Where have you heard that talk about possibly fighting UFC?
I've heard it everywhere. I mean, it's not like it's like they're talking back and forth as far as, you know, negotiating who's going to fight who or anything like that. But it's just been talked about through fans. I just pay attention on social media, all of one championship, all of UFC, and people are constantly talking like, you know, Christian Lee, he could fight at 155 against Islam Makhachev. You got Anatoly at heavyweight. Anatoly's ridiculous at heavyweight. The dude's like a Hulk. You got De Ritter at middleweight. I think that he could beat Israel Adesanya to this day. You have people like Fabricio Andrade. Fabricio Andrade is absolutely ridiculous on his feet, and he has pretty good in-game jiu-jitsu. So and Demetrious, of course. So between those champions, I think that we could really compete against the UFC champions.
Going back to 2016, that was a year where you fought 5 times and did very well, including some of those quick KOs, you know, that you've been talking about here.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to do that, or as you've gotten older, do you like spacing them out and, you know, the build up that leads, the camps, getting better between fights? What's your preference now?
I would say it's mostly I would like to fight like 3 to 4 times a year, you know, just stay constantly active. Just being active and being in repetition is huge in this game. Keeping up momentum, right? And it makes you build your character a little bit more when people get to see you enough. So if you see a bunch of UFC guys, they're fighting every, you know, 2 months, they're going to be moving up quicker. So that's what I want to do in this game. It's not that I don't want to stay in the game for a long time, but I would love to stay in the game till I'm 40. But I'm trying to get to reach pinnacles and do it as fast as possible so I can break those boundaries and try to get even higher in that realm.
What does this belt mean to you?
It means that's just a shiny piece of gold, man. The belt doesn't mean too much to me. I'm just trying to literally show my ass just like any other fighter, every fight. And if the belt means something to you like that, if you try hard, that's when you die hard, right? So the belt doesn't really mean too much to me till I get a lot of them and a stack of them, built up and have them in my trophy case. That's all I'm looking forward to. But yeah, I mean, this championship belt is it just shows you, dreams can come true and dreams can, come to fruition. So to anybody watching this, if you want to be a world champion, it's possible.
It's a major belt, brother. It's a shiny belt. It's a heavy belt. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
Winning this title. And I've been along with Goes, because we used to grow up watching boxing before MMA even existed. And around the time of me being a teenager and Goes being a younger fella, I don't know if you know, but we're brothers.
Oh,
He the lighter weight class fighters were kind of taking the reins from Muhammad Ali and Larry Holmes and Ken Norton, and those were the four kings: Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler, Thomas Hearns. So they were fighting anywhere between 147, 154, 160. All of a sudden, they started getting more acclaim, more prestige, more money. And then we get to the 90s, right? De La Hoya, Julio Cesar Chavez. So welterweight, 147, Julio Cesar Chavez, lightweight, around 130. And then Floyd, obviously, and Manny, who started off at 108, which is, I guess, in boxing, fly and bantam where you're at, and look at the star power that they've had. It can happen in this sport. I hope you guys start making bigger money because, the lightweight class fighters are so exciting. The way you guys can flow from striking to grappling, the pace.
That's one thing
that you
one
guys
championship
have.
has is they have pay. They pay their fighters, man. They make sure that their fighters are good. So one championship is dope for that. And I would say from what you were going off of, it's mostly storytelling, man. You have to have a story for people to pay attention. I mean, you can have a record all you want. People are like, oh, that's a 13-0 record. That's a 14-0 record. Oh, I want to see that guy fight. But after that fight, if there's nothing to go upon, then they're going to stop watching that fighter. They'll be like, oh, that's just that 13-0 fighter, right? But the reason why, they had their generations is they had one guy that ruled the weight class and could portray those people in a certain way to where they made those other fighters or those other fans look at those fighters and study them and then be like, nah, Jared Brooks can't beat this kid. And then it happens and they're like, oh shit, that's a respect factor, right? So when the respect factor comes in, then it's easy to sell a fight again.
Yeah. And the lighter weight class fighters are just killing it at one. They've really produced a lot of big names.
For sure.
Demetrious has come over and done well for the company as well. And that's what I want. I want some of the lighter weight classes to get their respect in MMA, just like the heavier ones. I know the heavyweights, can turn each other's lights off. I get it. It's exciting, but some of the wars I've seen at the different levels, and being introduced to 115 in Japan, that was awesome. And now I'm glad it's starting to get shine. And you're a perfect guy to be leading that charge. Let's not forget Lomachenko, same thing. One of the lighter weight class boxers in the world, but probably one of the most exciting. So
for sure.
Don't deny.
That's all you got to do is be exciting and be able to sell a fight as well.
Yeah. So MMA fans, you got to tune into the lighter weight classes. Jared, thank you so much thank you so much for your time.
Oh,
I hope you have a great holiday. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's. And can that dog make a cameo real quick? We saw him pop up, but can we see a little bit more of him? Look at that.
He's a bad boy.
What's his name?
His name is Louis. He's actually more famous than me. I mean, I just posted a Facebook video of us wrestling and got more likes than I've ever gotten in my whole life. So He's definitely
Are
more.
you sitting like on a bench or a chair? Can he
I'm sitting
prop
on
up
a
next
chair.
to you? Oh,
Huh?
okay. I was wondering if we could
Come
sit up next to you. Was it a
Come here. Come here.
look at that? That's a beautiful dog, man.
Yeah.
He is a good boy.
How old is Louis?
Louis just turned 2.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, he's
Nice.
my best friend, man. Call him
Heck
the
yeah.
monkey dog.
Hey, if you find yourself in Vegas, let us know. We'd love to have you in our studio. We can have a
Hey.
longer chat.
Hey, I won't. I'll come to Vegas and fuck with y'all for sure.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
Very cool. All right, let us know. We'll let you go, and thanks again for the time today.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Hope you guys have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year as well.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, Jared. All right, take care.